friends, it's Erin from the Home Sanctuary. Today I'm planning on making a couple loaves of meatloaf, also a shepherd's pie. And the reason I'm doing all together is because the shepherd's pie and the meatloaf, they all use a lot of the same ingredients, and I don't always like cooking every night, so I'm trying to get a little bit better about having some meals prepared and I can freeze them, and we'll have some healthy things, some good meals to eat during the weeknights. So let's get started. So I am going to add 3 pounds of ground beef. I buy our beef from a local butcher. So 3 pounds of ground beef is going to make 2 big family-sized loaves. I don't like touching raw meat. It grosses me out. Okay, so that's gonna sit. Now I'm gonna chop up an onion. You can save the scraps of your onion and then use it to make some vegetable broth. So every time you're doing a project, well, you just put that aside, save it in a freezer bag, and then you can, after you get enough, just use that to make some good vegetable broth. Okay. I have a lot of things in my freezer, and I'm trying to just get better about, for one, scratch cooking, and also just using the things that we have and learning different recipes to use the things that we keep in our storage and what we grow from the garden. So we don't eat a lot of different cuts of meat. I've never really been a huge meat eater. So I usually just get ground beef from grass-fed ground beef from a local butcher. I know that it is, good quality, and I like to support local. Whew, this onion is making my eyes water. I should have ran some water. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here is the onion. I heard there's a trick that if you put your tap water on while you're cutting, it's supposed to somehow pull away the chemicals that make your eyes water. I don't know. I'm not near the sink right now, so I'm just gonna kind of suffer through and get this done. I'm gonna chop these up as small as you can. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to put some, these are some peppers from our garden. There's still a little bit of frozen, but that'll be okay. And I'm happy to be able to find ways to use up the vegetables we grew from the garden. And I'm gonna just chop these up try to get them as small as I can, diced. If you hear random drill or hammering noises, we were getting a deck built during the filming of this video, so that's what the noise is if you hear it in the background. So we're gonna add our onions and pepper. And this is a jar of tomatoes from our garden. Let's see. You always want to listen to see. Oh, nice seal. And I always do a smell test. It smells good. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this in, maybe about half. If you don't have this, you can just use a can. Well, for 3 pounds, what I'm making, we probably went about 16 ounces, so maybe like 2 cans of tomato sauce. Then we're gonna mix this all up, and I'm gonna have to get in there with my hands, which I don't like, because raw meat grosses me out, but I'm gonna have to get in here. And mine is still, this has been thawing out in the fridge for 2 days, and it's still a little bit frozen. So I'm gonna have to really get in here and mix this all up. So you can use saltine crackers or Ritz crackers, but I'm gonna use, these are gluten-free breadcrumbs. Put that in, some salt, pepper, I have some greens powder that is just some dehydrated greens from the garden. I'm going to add a little bit to it so I can try to sneak in some more vegetables. You can skip this step if you don't have it. This makes 2 pretty big loaves, and I like to put it on a roasting sheet. I think that's what it's called. It's a little pan that you have that has this, the fat can kind of drip down, and it's on top of a cookie sheet. So that's how I have it set up. And then I just sort of mold it and make a little valley in the middle where I put some more tomato sauce before I bake it. And I like to make a lot at once so that I can cook and then freeze a loaf. And then I can just pull out that loaf for a night when it's just a busy or I don't feel like cooking. It's all ready to go. I am really bad about pulling things out of the freezer, so I'm going to go ahead and fry up some of the meat. It's still a bit frozen, but that's okay. It'll cook up just fine. That'll be for the shepherd's pie. And then I'm going to put the chicken for the jambalaya, get that started in the pressure cooker. I forgot to film, but I just added the chopped onion to the ground beef. The onions and ground beef are browned, so then I'm going to add a cup of water with some beef bouillon. Okay, we have some helpers here, being my cameraman. And right now we have the meat, the beef bouillon, and the onions sauteing. And I'm just going to add my vegetables. I'm just using canned vegetables because I'm trying to use up some of the stuff in our pantry. So I'm going to put in canned corn, if I can get it out, or canned carrots.
Canned corn.
Canned corn.
Canned corn. You got it all mixed up.
And canned peas. Okay, then we're going to mix this up. This is going to be, let's get this in the trash.
Yeah.
I'm going to zoom in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have to let this cool before we go ahead and put the mashed potatoes on top. And so let's just get this water to cook down.
Do you need a new recipe to make this recipe?
This is going to be shepherd's pie recipe.
Oh.
And then we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Can you say that? Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
I think that's how you say it. Worcestershire. Okay. It's about a tablespoon. I don't know. Shaking it in. Okay. What else do we need? Some black pepper. Some Italian seasoning. And I think Daddy would probably like a little bit of salt. Okay, salt.
Salt.
Okay, and I'm going to mix this up.
There it is.
Oh. Okay, now we want to put this in here and let it cool. I'm going to need a bigger spoon. Okay, so here is this. We're going to drain it, put it in our pan, because this needs time to cool before we put our mashed potatoes on top.
Yeah.
You like mashed potatoes?
Yes.
This is a one-pot dish.
Can I try one?
Or what do we call that? A one-dish meal. It's got everything you need in one pot. It's nice and hearty. We use up our stuff that we have in the pantry and our freezer. For the top part of the shepherd's pie, you can make homemade potatoes from scratch. I have some instant potatoes in the pantry, and one of my goals for this meal is I want to use up some of the things in our pantry. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the instant potatoes. Super quick, easy, 2 cups of water, and bring it to a boil and add the potatoes. And then there it is ready to go to add to the top.